Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my analysis of some of the most popular futures markets out there for day traders. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, one point of clarification, I'll be using the 1 hour time frame. So if you're a beginner to charts, what that means is each one of these candlesticks here represents 1 hour's worth of time. So we're going to start off looking at the NQ, and as a reminder, if you only trade that MNQ, then what I talk about here can still be applied to the MNQ chart since they mimic one another. So overall, from a big picture standpoint, still essentially stuck inside of this channel that has formed, bottom of the channel down here at 21,430, top of the channel up here at 21,955. But we can certainly break things down within the channel. And I think the level here that a lot of people are going to be watching, and I make the comment about a lot of people, because when there are lots of people watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, you got to think that a bunch of people have drawn that trend line right there. And when, like I said, a lot of people are watching it, self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, more than valid to think that if the price comes up here and can get a break up through that trend line right there, that break in and of itself could create some good solid upside buying pressure. And very realistically, especially if it's a high volume break of that trend line, carry the price up to at least do battle with the 955 mark. Now, what happens at 955, that's why risk management matters, because it's one of those almost anyone's guess at that point. But point here being in the very near term, that trend line right there, I could see playing a pretty interesting role moving forward. And then on the flip side of things, in terms of more near-term areas of support, got to think a lot of people are watching that purple line there, 50-period moving average. But more so, in my opinion at least, is going to be that pink line there, the 200-period moving average, as more so kind of an overarching area of support. And even if the price comes down to there and breaks down through it, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a break of that level sends the price straight down to that area. What I am saying though is when you look here, there just really isn't any other suggestions of where support could be until you get down to that low right there. So a high volume break of that pink line, like I said, no guarantees, but could be reasonable to look at sending the price all the way down to that 430 mark. So those would be the main levels I'd keep an eye on going in the next session. So we'll see what happens. Next one here, we're looking at the ES, and a good example of what I was just talking about here on the NQ in terms of the trend line. So you can see I drew that in the previous video. Price came up here, very nice breakout, pull back here, back tested it, and then got more continuation here. So that's what could very realistically possibly happen with the NQ on any sort of break of that trend line here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that as I think it served its purpose for now, because we don't want, or at least I don't want to cause confusion because there's lines and clutter everywhere. So I'd like to try to keep this as clean as possible. But moving forward now in terms of areas of, actually, I don't know, I can't tell the naked eye, is the price above here or not? No, still doing battle with the 60.96 mark. So if you go back through the history of things, you can see right here, basically rejected it, and you can see right now here the price is struggling with that area. So that's not to say the price can't push through that area. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price is currently struggling right around that area. And then, yes, you do still have 61.45, but I'm going to go ahead and just adjust this area down, because the next pressing area of resistance, in my opinion, more important level would be right up there around 61.20. Like I said, if the price can get, clear this area right here at the 60.96 mark. In terms of areas of support, nothing has changed in terms of the overall support zone, which I've talked about in past videos down here. But yes, as of right now, this area is pretty irrelevant given the price is way up here. I would say the more relevant areas are definitely going to be those moving averages. Again, 50-period moving average and 200-period moving average. But keep an eye on that. But definitely the key dynamic right now is you have this move up. You're getting a little bit of a consolidation. So does this consolidation lead to a break of this initial area of resistance? We'll see what the next session has to offer. Next one here, taking a look at the YM, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous video, but if you did, I mean, the power of charts, hopefully you remember me putting in that line right there at 44,405, and I mean, you can't make this stuff out. I'm not patting myself on the back. I am patting charts on the back, so this would be an argument as to why I think that you should really seriously consider learning charts. But I mean, check it out. Had that line in place, and look right where the price basically bounced off of, right at that level. So for any of you that did watch the previous video and you took advantage of that bounce off there, congratulations to you. Very nice move here. But moving forward, nothing has really changed in terms of supports. Yeah, still 405 right there. Now, preferably speaking, if you were to say, Clay, what would make this chart look the strongest moving forward? That would definitely be if the price can stay above that purple line right there. But don't get me wrong, it's not like if the price falls below there, everything's ruined. But yeah, staying above there would definitely make the bulls look the strongest. But if it doesn't, again, you still have that level of support. And then way down here at 44 is another level, but this level right now is pretty irrelevant given where the price is currently at. In terms of areas of resistance, no surprise here, the price is getting hung up right at that pink line there. Pink line being the 200 period moving average. Very famous area within the world of charts. So yes, not a shock at all to see the price, kind of struggling right here. That's not to say it can't break through it, but the struggle, I don't think anybody would be, is shocked saying, oh, wow, I can't believe the price is getting hung up around that 200 period moving average. Now, if the price can push up through there, quite a bit of upside potential. Yeah, you might have a little bit of a roadblock right there, but there is definitely some room to run to the upside if the price can clear through that 200 period moving average. But all in all, nice movement today. Hung up at that level, so can the price get more momentum up through it in the next session? We'll see what happens. We're now moving out of the indices and into the oil market, specifically crude, CL, and the uptrend continues. For the longest time, this thing has been getting beat down, but put in a higher high, higher low here during this session. So it'll be interesting to see if this can continue. What I'm going to do here is just adjust this area of resistance up now to right there at the 73.69 mark. No need to overcomplicate it. Just ask the question, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at that level. But in my opinion, at least, the resistances aren't necessarily the most important thing. The most interesting dynamic is just, can the price keep on building these higher bases? Because as long as higher bases are being put into play, then everything else will take care of itself, including breaking areas of resistance. Because, right, the price will eventually just run out of room, and it'll have to break up through there if higher lows are being built into place. So in terms of main areas of resistance, of support, you have the pink line right here, but you also have what is known as a golden cross getting ready to take place. Now, I'm not a huge, fanboy of the golden cross. It does it because it's a lagging indicator, so it doesn't really mean anything per se. Some people hype it up more than it needs to be, but nonetheless, it is still nice and bullish when the 50 period moving average does cross back up above the 200 period moving average. So keep an eye on that dynamic right there. But I think that the most straightforward way to gauge this right now is to get a trend line in play and just to watch that trend line. As long as the price stays above that trend line, then the bulls are operating at full efficiency. So keep an eye on that. But all in all, oil has changed, or at least crude has changed around, and a nice little uptrend here. So we'll see if that can continue into the next session. Next one here in the precious metals, gold, GC, and this one has finally acted human here a little bit as it's pulled back after a pretty big spike right there. And again, this will mean more to those of you that have watched previous videos, but definitely a brag on charts. You don't have to believe me. All you got to do is go back in the archives and watch. But I had that green line there as a support. And look right where this thing bounced off of. Amazing. The power of charts. So moving forward in terms of areas of support, 2906 definitely going to be an important level. In the event the price comes down through there, breaks down through that level. Next key area of support would be the 200 period moving average, right now valued at right around 28.76. So keep an eye on those couple areas. In terms of resistance, yeah, you have the all-time highs up there as a key level. But for more so potential trade and kind of breakout standpoint, you got to think a lot of people have drawn a trend line very similar to that. And again, I make the comment about a lot of people because when lots of people are watching the same trend lines and wondering the same thing, self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can definitely produce some big dynamic movement. So moving forward, if the price can come up through there and get the break, more than valid to think that that break right there could generate more upside buying pressure. So all in all, gold still very much so in an overall uptrend. But yeah, the pullback here does illustrate that maybe, just maybe, the bears are starting to regain a little bit of control. But the bulls still definitely have an overall grasp on things. But it'll be interesting to see if this pullback needs to continue a bit more, or if this is just a little bit of a breath before gold's at all-time highs again. So that wraps up the analysis, and hopefully you saw the banner already, but I would highly recommend checking out Take Profit Trader. They are the prop firm that I use, that I would recommend, and they are open to basically anybody around the world. Now, if you do see your country on that list, unfortunately, you would not be able to use them. But if your country is not on that list, then they are open to you. So they're who I use and who I would recommend you at least give a try, and make sure you use that link because they are always running promotions. And by using that link, you'll get the current promotion by using it of getting 50% off all of their account sizes. So definitely give them a look. As far as these analysis videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please hit the like button. And if you want to support the channel in a super free and easy way, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.